Welcome to my series of AI videos. Today's video is on LangSmith. Okay, so what is LangSmith? LangSmith, if you head to smith.langchain.com, you can sign up for it. It's free. So if you log in here, you'll see this home page. Okay, so now it has three parts. The first one is tracing, second is evaluation, and the third is monitoring. Okay, so you'll see these tracing projects, right? This evaluation has data sets and experiments, and it has some tagging and annotation. Okay, it also has prompts playground, okay, which we are not going to look at much today, but there is a monitoring, okay, so which is the observability part. Okay, so we'll see this in a bit. Okay, so uh, tracing basically has a notion of runs. Okay, so if you go to one of my tracing projects, right, so let me go to this. We had built a research assistant, remember? So what I did is I traced this research assistant that we built using LangSmith. Okay, so if you see this, you see the runs, right? What all runs you did. Now it understands its lang graph, right? So that's what it shows here. Now if you click on this, I mean, this is this huge research assistant, if you remember, right? It kind of picked up analysis, right? It took the human feedback, right? Conducted interviews, asking questions, getting answers. It's a pretty long, elaborate LLM application. Okay, so that you can see here. So there are run types, right? So as you can see here, if you see, right, these are the different icons that you'll see. Okay, so this icon is a chain, this icon is for LLM, right? So if you see these particular icons, you'll see these different run types, right? So this is a LLM, this is a chain, right? So on and so forth. Okay, these are all different run types. They are LLM, retriever, right? Retriever is for RAG, chain, tools, and prompt. Okay, it will show latency, tokens, cost, right? So if you go here, like each step, right, how long it took. So asking question, right, this whole thing took 570 seconds, like a pretty long elaborate application. Okay, so this overall took 2765 seconds, right, like pretty long time, uh, about what, 30-40 minutes. Okay, but you can kind of get the idea, get the drill down. Okay, so it also has user feedback and tags. Okay, so let me uh, one way you can go to these user feedback and tags is through this settings, right, feedback tags, right, or you can even go through these individual projects and do the tagging, right? So if you go to this tracing project, right, now let me go to this research assistant, right, you can either do tagging from here. Okay, so you can uh, either do from here, right, annotation run. So you can do annotation run, or you can do a feedback, and then you can basically uh, add a feedback here, okay, if you want. uh, so okay, so that is the user feedback and tags. Now for evaluation, uh, what and okay, so basically this is a tracing, right? We already saw that, but this is kind of how this trace looks like. So we'll see pretty detailed view for each of these steps, right? What was the input, what was the output, right? uh, right, so it kind of is showing one of the analysis that was chosen by our LLM. Okay, so this is what you'll see in the tracing, right? So in evaluation, there are data sets. So let me go to data sets, right? So let me pick, I have a couple of data sets. So in the data set, if you see the examples, this is basically the data set, right? So this has an input, it has a reference output, right? So basically I said find the population of India, it gave an answer of 1.4 billion. Okay, so this is what you'll have in a data set, right? They have input output. Now you have evaluators, right? The evaluators take input output and reference output. Okay, so uh, there are some standard evaluators and you can run them in Playground. But what I'll do for this particular exercise, since our focus is kind of a local Olama, I have run it through the SDK. Okay, so I'll head back to my code. Right, so this is my evaluator. Right, so in the evaluator, basically what you do is I'm going to query my Olama. Right, I'm going to use a DeepSeek model, right, 7 billion model, right, and then I'm going to ask that question, right? So what is the population of India? Then whatever answer you get, right, I'll pick that answer, right, and then this DeepSeek basically has like a reasoning given, right? So I'm kind of removing that reasoning, right, and then giving that as an output. Okay, so this is the evaluator that I have. Right now, once you have data sets defined evaluators on it, you run experiments on it. Okay, so how do they look like? So again, heading back, right? So I ran these experiments, right? So uh, let me pick the latest experiment that I ran, right? So basically, experiment is nothing but it just ran that whole evaluator, right, on all the inputs of the data set, right? So population of India, right? My reference output was 1.4 billion, right? Now, I filtered out the reasoning, right, from Olama. So that's why I see this, but it still says the population of India is right. I mean, that's why kind of if I do a exact match, it's going to fail. Okay. Now, couple of interesting things. I don't know why. So though this was the same, right? If you see the reference output and the actual output is the same, right? Or even okay, so this is slightly different. Okay, so though this is the same, okay, so maybe the connection failed. Okay, so maybe while sort of doing the evaluation, the connection failed. But from here, you can get the whole detailed result of the run, right? So where uh, the input, if you see, right, this is the input, output, and this is the reference output, right? Which they are the same. Okay, so similarly, let me show one more example, right? So here you'll clearly see, okay, so this connection failed here, right? So oh, that is interesting because it actually got the output. Okay, so here the input was find the population of India, right? The output was the population of India is estimated to be, right? And the expected was just 1.4 billion. But you get the idea, right? So basically, this is how you run the experiments, right? Now, with experiments, you can do a lot of things, right? You can run a lot of experiments on the same data set, right? You can uh, compare these runs or experiments, right? Do some evaluations and you can determine which model is better and all that, right? So which is pretty cool. Okay, so you can do these charts and all that here, right? Evaluation score, right? You can see these, right? uh, what is the latency, right? You'll see a lot of this stuff here. Okay, uh, okay, it will give the tokens, right? So that is about the evaluation, right? We saw the data sets, evaluators, and experiments, right? And the last thing is the monitoring, right? So basically, this is the data set, right? This is like an evaluator in SDK, right? These were the experiments, right? This is a specific experiment that we saw, and now we are going to look at the monitoring, right? So if you head over to monitoring, right, you'll basically see that, right? So there are some pre-built dashboards, right? So for each of my projects, you can see them, right? And you'll see, okay, like what all things I ran, right? So remember we had this heavy research assistant project, right? So you'll see that here somewhere, right? Uh, so uh, right, so generate response, retrieve documents, right? That was our project, right? So okay, so this is my simpler project. So let me go back and go back to monitoring, and I'll go to the research assistant, which is what I wanted to show you, which was a heavy application, right? So all web successes, right? But then you can see the different charts here. Okay, so this one, right? So it says three interviews conducted, one output written, right? One introduction written, right? So on and so forth, right? So we'll see all that. Okay, so if you like the video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and good luck using LangSmith. Okay, bye.